We are going to be adding so much salt to the arena ladder today that our opponent's dinners are going to taste a little funny tonight. And that's because we're running a GRIXIS Discard tribal deck, and it's exactly how it sounds. We're going to be hitting our opponent with some crazy hand-hating effects. Some of those cards being the Long Reach of Night and the Blade Coil Serpent. The Long Reach of Night is a really cool card that forces our opponent to either sack creatures that they have on the field or discard cards. The new Blade Coil Serpent is really cool. We can pump a ton of mana into this thing to force our opponent to discard multiple cards, or even draw cards, or even give it haste to try to close out a game. We've got some really cool things to be doing with our opponent's graveyard. We can be answering things with like the Corpse Appraiser or the Silent Spider. We can, steal things with the Spider, exile things with the Corpse Appraiser to gain, card advantage. And then we are going to win the game with things like Painful Quandary, a brand new enchantment card that essentially is going to lock the opponent out of the game once we've basically taken care of their entire hand. Every spell is going to cost them 5 life, which kills them very quickly. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about the Stone Brain. We're going to be playing a card called the Stone Brain, a little bit out of my pay grade as far as skill level goes, because you've got to make some really crazy reads on what your opponent's playing. But I figured today we're going to try it out because we're going to get a lot of information when we're discarding our opponent's hand. We should be able to tell what sort of deck they're running and which cards to target. A very fun card in today's build. But man, this deck was a ton of fun. And again, it is very salt inducing to the opponents, I'm sure. But I had a lot of fun playing it, which is all that matters. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We are going to break it down in full at the end of today's video as always, so stick around for that. In the meantime, if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, enjoy the games, guys. We'll see you back here at the end. Peace out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for clicking on today's video, man. Today we got a GRIXIS discard tribal deck for you. GRIXIS is always that type of deck, kind of like the mill decks, where you love playing them, you hate having them played against you. So we're gonna be making some people salty today, that's for sure. Opening hand, I think this is definitely a keepable hand. It's not ideal, but it's still pretty keepable. I would like to get something that can discard right on time, right on cue. Now our hand looks a lot better. The Voice of the Blessed, nice. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just pass the turn here, and we're gonna go for the Throat. We're gonna take out the Voice of the Blessed, and then we're gonna play the Appraiser, exiling it. I think that's a fair play here. Scry 2, gain 2 life, and then it becomes a 2/2 first strike creature. All right. Pretty cool idea so far. Looks like a mono white life gain deck. They did miss the 3rd land drop, which again, I can't tell you guys how many times I've been screwed in that situation. I hope they don't get screwed, because I'd like to try to finish this game out strong, because I have a really good hand here. What a card. What a card. We get a Liliana in the opening hand now. Not the opening hand, I'm sorry. We get a Liliana off the top. Sorry, I'm not feeling so great today. My son's been sick, and we've been up and down with these illnesses in our house, man. And now with the holidays that just passed, stuff felt like they got passed around at Thanksgiving. My head's a little foggy, but we're gonna battle through it. I'm on some Dayquil right now, so feeling okay at the moment. You know what? We're gonna actually play Liliana here, and we're just gonna start plussing aggressively.
No more distractions.
Aggressive plussing. Because we do have the Concealing Curtains to protect Liliana, so that 1/1's not getting through. Even if it didn't really matter. But now that they got the Luminarch Veteran down, it's gonna make their team a lot better when okay. Interesting. That's a card. That is a card. Okay, so if I play this to get ahead of it, this is always a tricky situation, man. The Painful Quandary is a fantastic card, but there's that downside, man. That downside to where I'm basically taking an entire turn off here to spend my 5 mana to do really nothing at the moment. But I think it's time to get it down now so we can get it going, because they have no cards in hand essentially. So what do I do? Do I minus here? Do I plus? I feel like I got a plus. Oh, what a good plus. Okay, we get rid of a Wandering Emperor. That's so clutch. Okay. They exile the Candle Trap. Nice. Okay. No cards in hand. Love that. Now let's see how they attack here. They send everything to Liliana. Perfect. Okay, so I don't have to do anything. No blocks necessary, because even if we block, let's say here, 6, yeah. The only way, there's no way to save it. Okay. No way to save Liliana. It goes. They gain some life. Ooh, Soaring City's not bad. Is there anything I want to reanimate right here and now? Not really, right? I think I'm gonna go ahead and play the Gix here. Go level 2. And what do we want to grab? Hostile Takeover? Seems good to me. All right, so we're gonna be able to sweep the board up this next turn, and we have a Quandary down on the field, so things are looking really, really good for us. Let's go ahead and just block the max amount of damage we can. Down to 11. This is going extremely well right now. We're about to completely blow up their board state. They're not going to be very happy. And let's go ahead and steal all of their Wandering Emperors. Okay. Cool with me. Cool with me. All right. Nice little sweep here. Get one of these. All right, now we got some Wandering Emperors to work with as well, and we've got a Quandary on the field, so the opponent's going to have a really hard time casting anything like this. They're going to either have to discard or take 5. They're probably going to just take the 5. It is what it is. This can only hit things power mana value 3 or less, so I still had the Wandering Emperor play. Taking 5. Now every time they cast something, it's going to be brutal on the opponent. Definitely going to flash this in here.
Run away.
Let's attack into the opponent, see what they want to do. Nothing. Okay.
Let your blade do the talking.
I do like that we're beating the opponent with their own deck here now. This is actually kind of nice. I also have a Junji, which can come down and make some good blocks against the Phantom, so that'll probably be the next move here. That's a good card. But yeah, I think it's the Junji this time around. I mean, we are set up so nicely at the moment. There's really nothing the opponent can do here. They're going to block with the Mender because they're going to get a card, so there's no reason not to. But the Wandering Emperor completely protected now from the attack from the Phantom. If they want to somehow kill my Junji, though, they're going to need some sort of exiling effect, which is definitely a possibility. A Farewell would be annoying, though. I can't lie. Wow, they take the damage here. But they do get the Junji, like I said. So they take the damage, which means they really like the card that they have. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's take a look at that last card in your hand. Yeah, I figured it was something pretty decent. And as long as the Wandering Emperor is getting the +1 every single time, they're not going to be able to do anything with the flyer over the top to kill it. We're going to always have 2 loyalties, so they can't play the card in their hand. If they play a card from their hand, they die. So there it is. GG's. GG's. Painful Quandary, man. What a card. What an absolute beast of a card. Man, that's how you kick off a video. That was very, very clean. You know, granted the opponent, again, had early mana issues, but seemed to fix it pretty quickly. So very happy with that win. That was, I never felt like I was in danger, which those are the best kind of games. I get to go first. I have a pretty good starting hand, actually. I've got some early removal into a Liliana. This is actually pretty perfect. Stone Brain, I like that. I do want to play the Stone Brain now today and show you guys this card. It is a little above my pay grade as far as skill level goes, but I'm hoping that we could showcase it and not make a fool of ourselves. But the opponent's on some weird stuff already. Sacrifice the courier, draw a card on Earth. That's something else. That's something different. Let's go ahead and drop this because I have a feeling it's not going to be very good here in this matchup. All right. They draw 2 cards, then discard a card, create a Power Stone. Yep, they're clearly artifacts, which means our Stone Brain is going to be hard to hit because I just don't know what in the world they're up to. This is a very unique build. Stone Brain's a little bit better for those meta decks that you kind of have a lot of information about. Hopefully we hit that land drop, man. I could really use it. That is not a land. That is not a land. All right, let's just go ahead and get rid of this 1/1. Obviously, Stone Brain, the only card that we can play at the moment. Let's get that down. Man, let's really think about this. The Portal of Phyrexia might be the card we want to shoot for when using the Stone Brain here. Karn's Silax. All right, well, that's gone. At least it got unearthed and now it's gone for good. I did forget about its unearthed ability. I'm not going to lie. All right. Well, that's a bummer. Let's see. I'm going to shoot for the stars here, guys. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. Let's see if we can hit strong here. Portal to Phyrexia. Portal to Phyrexia. Yep, we got a hit. We do have a hit. Oh, Brilliant Restoration. That is going to be the card we want to hit next. All right, Brilliant Restoration's the next call out if we do get another Stone Brain. All right, cool. Portal Phyrexia gone. That's pretty solid. We do have to worry about Karn's Silax, which is annoying, but it's totally fine. It blows up their own things too, so if they want to try to get a board state through, and they're not going to want to blow up the board, so could really use a land. Let's go. That's clutch. That's clutch. I mean, again, I'm going to go ahead and hit this out of their hand and then maybe steal it down the road as a big body for us to use. But the opponent probably going to pull the trigger on the Karn Silax. If they do pull the trigger on it, they blow up their entire board. So I will take it. I will take it. I think we got this. Portal to Phyrexia, man. I can't believe we got that hit. This is interesting, but I don't exactly want to exile their card from their graveyard. What do I want? Maybe this? Just get rid of all their cards in their hand. Let's just do it. Let's just make them have to pull the trigger on the Silax if they want to. And then boom, 3 damage to their face. Ooh, we get a good one too. Next turn we get to steal the Skitter Beam Battalion, one of my favorite artifact cards. Timeless Lotus, just more mana. That doesn't exactly help them right now. We're gonna get that battalion in next turn. It's gonna be at its full mana value too. So we're gonna get 3/4 bodies. And we're gonna start smacking away. Skitter Beam, come on down. Ah, we don't actually get the full 3 bodies. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I thought that's how it would have worked, but apparently not. All right, let's go and get down to Junji too. That way, if they pull the trigger on the Silax again to kill the Junji, I can at least go ahead and reanimate something. What would we want to reanimate? Now that we know we can't get that for its full value, let's go and get the 6/4 with haste, I think. All right, they sacrificed that to get a card. All good. They're down to 13. This is a trickier matchup than I thought it was going to be because the opponent, man, just really doing a really good job right now of confusing me. All right. Did they mess up on that? I think they messed up on that. They thought they were going to get more out of that than they did. That stinks. All right. All right, Junji, go ahead and attack into the opponent here. You know they're gonna pull the trigger on this. It's like, it's almost a guarantee, right? So it's like, I do have this with haste potentially next turn too. Let's just pass the turn. They're gonna have to pull the trigger on the Silax. Like, there's no other way around it. And if they don't, I have a hasty creature that can win us the game here. So a 7/7 with crew of 2. Do they have something for me? It's a 7-bodied creature here, so they could pull the trigger on the Silax, killing everything except for that. Which is cool. All right. I really don't understand that card being in their deck though, because it just sets, you know, like I said, sets them up for failure on their own things getting swept up here. All right, let's do one of each of every color. That way I get the haste, they discard their last card in hand, and I get to draw a card. Seems good to me. And that'll be a GG's, my friend. Blade Coil Serpent, an absolute savage card right there. We could have ended the game a lot sooner if I would have known that the Skitterbean Battalion wouldn't have come in with its copies. It does make sense though. Let's take a look at that card really fast. It says whenever it enters the battlefield, if you cast it. See, I knew it was going to have some form of if you cast it on there because that's where the mistake came in. I didn't cast it, so I didn't get the copies. Anyways though, GG. Blade Coil Serpent is really the card I wanted to build around here today, so I'm really happy that we got a chance to showcase it there and how good it can be. There's so many factors with that card and so many utility pieces to it. The fact that you can discard, draw cards, and give haste, like, it's such a flexible card when you need it, because you can really pump the extra black into it to make them discard their entire hand if you need to at some point, or you can look to draw cards if you need them. I mean, it just does it all. It really does. And in spots like that where we just need to give it haste, win the game, it's a good place to be. It's a very good place to be. I don't have a 2-drop spell here, so I'm going to play the Concealing Curtains, and we'll play the tapped Xander Lounge next turn. Misery Shadow. Well, now we got a 2-drop. Gosh darn it. Do we care about getting the Stone Brain down right this second? Probably not. I just want to get this tap land in to see what we can do. This, you know, can give itself the 1/1 counter basically to get it bigger over time, which is interesting because the hostile takeover might not be good enough to get the job done then. That's going to be a frustrating thing to have to deal with, I can't lie. Can't lie. Pretty frustrating. All right, we are going to give them a card here, though, which could potentially lead them into that 3rd land drop that they need. But I think it's worth it. All right, let's smack them. And we're looking for a hostile takeover as soon as possible because they're clearly an aggro deck of sorts. Base power and toughness of 2/2. I'm trying to figure out how to you know, pull the trigger on this because of the ability to grow over time, but they are going to overcommit here, I think, with all the extra damage they're going to pump into these things, which means on my turn we should be able to get a pretty easy hostile takeover. All right, let's get the Appraiser in. Let's get that Adeline out of there. Draw a card. Get a card. Yeah, we might as well, right? We've already got 5 lands. We don't really need any more than that. And we'll go ahead and play it down. Attack in, keep the damage going, because once we sweep the board, we're going to be well ahead of the opponent here. I would imagine they're going to play the Shieldred, which is perfect. As long as they don't pump anything here, I really hope they play the Shieldred. That'd be so good. Play the Shieldred. Come on. Yes. Yes. All right. That was an overcommitment on the opponent's behalf. There we go. Board swept. And we attack into the opponent. And that should just about do it, to be honest. We have another sweeper if we need it, but I don't think we're going to need it here. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep attacking in and hopefully win the game here. Edgar. 3, 6. I have exactly lethal if I blow up this Edgar. Hostile Takeover, man. Just such a good card. Such a good sweeper card, man. All right, here we go. That should do it. Make this a 1-1. Make this a 4-4. Blow up the board. Swing in for 7. GG's. GG's. Let's go. That was an easy one, man. I mean, it wasn't easy. If we didn't get that second hostile takeover, we'd lose that. Well, probably lose that game because they looked like they had a really, really strong hand to just kind of keep refilling the board after we sweep it up, especially because Edgar was going to create these lifelink creatures. So I'm glad we just happened to have the right cards at the right time there. But exactly to 0 and nice, easy victory, man. Yeah, if you guys are ever playing Grixis, I highly recommend that hostile takeover. That card is really solid. I'm telling you, being able to give one of your creatures, you know, the body of a 4/4 and then sweep the board for 3 is really good, especially when all your creatures have 4 toughness or higher, except for 1. Like, it just happens to work out extremely perfect for us. Keeping a really bad hand here, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We do have an early Concealing Curtains into a turn 3 Appraiser, but we don't have lands. This could be a big issue if we don't find a 3rd land drop. Yep, probably not going to. Probably not going to. Oh man, the fan needs to get going here. Getting a little warm. Pilfer. Oh, okay. They take the Appraiser. Fair enough. I find a land, but it's not the one I need. I need another red or blue source. We have hostile takeover, so I'm not too afraid of Shieldred, but Invoke Despair might be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and call Invoke Despair as my card for the Stone Brain. It's not looking good for us, though. Discard meets discard here. Invoke Despair. Okay. Yeah, I figured. Well, now that's a card we don't have to worry about anymore, huh? I love that. All right, Shakedown Heavy comes down. Hey, we find a land, but we need one more now. It doesn't matter because they took both of our appraisers. What a bummer. What a bummer. Probably just going to eat this 6 damage for a little bit here just to kind of not allow them to draw cards because we're losing the card advantage game right now and it doesn't feel good. Love it. Love it. And now I don't have to worry about the Invoke Despair taking the Quandary out of the game, so feels good. They have something holding priority here. I'm guessing it's probably just the March. All right, I feel a lot better now that that's on the field, though. 3, 4, 5. I need one more land for this Blade Coil Serpent. Okay, so Dreadful Fuge. They can only take the hostile takeover, so we'll take that. Oh, wait, could they have taken any card there? Target player reveals their hand choosing non-land card from it. Oh, wow, they could have taken any card. Maybe I should have added Dreadfuge in my deck. Holy cow. It's a good card. Decline. They have plenty of kill spells, which is why they decided not to take the Blade Coil. But man, they're going to regret that because now we've got the Liliana coming down. Liliana minus. Love that. They could play, you know, obviously the soul. What is this? Soul Shatter? Soul Transfer. They're probably going to play that. Liliana's going to be gone. Totally fine, though, because they either take 5 damage or they discard a card. We might be able to pull this off, guys. We might be able to pull this off. They throw down another cut down. Just discarding their entire hand here. Absolutely love that. Not gonna play that. Don't have a creature on the field. They don't have to discard at all, so we're gonna wait. 5 mana. Now normally right here I'd be terrified that this is an Invoke Despair, but I know it's not, so they're bringing back their old Shakedown Heavy, huh? Ooh, that stinks. I'm sorry. That stinks. I'm sorry. All right, we should be able to win the game now. Man, they went off to a very good start too, man. They had a very strong start, but nope. Now they're just gonna go ahead and yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because I have this, right? So if they play the Shakedown Heavy, I play this, they're gonna be toast. This is such a good card. I know there's a lot of spots where it's not very good, but when it is good, this card is very, very good because they're going to discard here. We knew that because they didn't want to take the 5, which means they have to sacrifice the Shakedown Heavy now. So we'll be seeing you, Shakedown. That's so good. Now they can't even play a creature because they'll have to sacrifice it again. Dreadfuge, they take 5. Oh, they're so toast, man. If I get 1 land, I could just go with the Serpent and hopefully win the game if it's a red source, but they're probably going to take it, I would imagine. The Sabotage came in pretty clutch for us too, by the way. That was really nice. All right, so now they can't play anything. They just basically lose the game. If they play any spell whatsoever without having 2 cards in their hand to discard, they just lose. So it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. We'll be seeing you.
With the mysteries. We all have things we'd
All right.
rather forget.
So even if, let's say, they have a kill spell here to stop me from getting this damage through, it doesn't matter because they take 10 damage. So it's just, again, they're completely locked out of the game. Once we get them down this low with 2 quandaries on the field, as far as card advantage, they are completely locked out. Oh my god, this is so much fun. This has got to be one of the funnest decks I've played in a minute. This feels so good. Oh man, this feels so beyond good. I hope you guys are enjoying today's video, man. I really do. I go first. This is not terrible. I have the Stone Brain, but I have a lot of things that are great if I can get some discard going. So let's hope my top decks are discard effects. Stone Brain will only be good if I can make the right call, which hopefully if I can find. All right, I'm definitely, well, I think getting the Stone Brain down here is the play because I would like to get this in tapped so I can play Corpse Appraiser on 3, but the Corpse Appraiser on 3 does me no good if there's nothing in the graveyard. So we're just gonna wait and see. Hostile Takeover looking like a really good pull here. So it's clearly soldiers. Now here's the problem. I've never played the soldier deck. I've played against it many times, but I don't know the names of the cards. So this Stone Brain not going to be very helpful for me. It's not going to be very helpful. I wish I could just reach out and make the call of a lifetime, but I just don't know the names of the cards because most of the soldiers are brand new. And again, I haven't even played soldiers yet. So gotta imagine that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. At least I got this, right? At least I got this. And as long as we hit a land, we got a hostile takeover. So let's hope for no indestructibility, man. That would be a bummer. Like Banala would be a bummer. Okay. We're still good on the takeover. Oh, come on. I need the takeover. Help me out here, game. Discard a creature. Discard a creature so I can go get a land. Nope. Alright, at least with Liliana coming down here, I can at least take the pressure off of them attacking into my face. Which is a bummer. I would have really liked to have just drawn the land and won this game very clean. But, you know, we've been winning a lot of games. We're bound to have a little bit of bad luck at some point. And this is feeling like that point where we just needed that land and not going to find it, but I'm praying this next card's the land. Come on. Don't let me down, Arena. Don't let me down.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
You let me down. All right. at least I got 2 blockers now to work with, though. I mean, that's something to be a little excited about, because also too we can get a bigger hit. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll take the extra takeover, but not finding a land there is a bummer. Let me just put it this way: if we lose this game, it's pure luck, because we have every tool we need to succeed going forward. So if we can't make this happen, it's just going to be bad luck for us. Come on, just commit the whole hand of the board. Okay, that's a problem. But we're still in range of takeover as long as I make the Baird a 1/1. As long as I make the Baird a 1/1, we're all right. Oh, man. Come on, land. We went 3 cards deep on that last pull. There better be a land here. Oh! Okay. How about now? Can we get a land now? Oh, my goodness, man. Unreal. Unreal. 3 more cards deep. Come on. Wow, they shut down my ability to go find a land. Well done. Well done. That'll do it. That'll definitely do it. The Lion Sash, exiling my creature before I could pull the trigger on it. Completely shutting down my ability to go 3 cards deep. That is unfortunate. Well, if they attack with everything here, let's just see. Block here, that's 9 damage. Yeah, we're dead. We are dead, and now the hostile takeover doesn't even really work, because this is going to get too big. I just hope they miss the lethal. I hope they don't swing all here. It'd be a huge mistake on their part if they don't, but again, guys, I mean, we win this one easy. I mean, easy if we just, you know, find the land. And they missed the lethal. They attached everything. They attached the sash to the creature, which made it to where they didn't have that final 3 damage they needed. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. All right, good game, I guess. Nothing we could have done. Just nothing we could have done, man. Oh man, that's a bummer. They even gave us another shot at it too, but I don't think we could even hostile take over the board anyways with that sash being on that creature, but oh well. All right, we really got to get that one back. That one left a bad taste in my mouth. We, you know, it doesn't feel like a loss really that badly. Whenever you don't get the lands that you need or whatever it may be, it doesn't really feel too bad, but it just, you know, it just kind of sucks. Opening hand here is okay. Nothing till turn 3 though. It's a little rough, but hopefully the opponent's not too aggressive. Okay, well, I hope they're a little more aggressive than mono blue though. Oh, mono blue would stink. Oh, looks like mono blue. Oh boy. Oh boy, mono blue with plain sleeves. That makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and get down this. It's gonna get countered for sure. If it does, it does. Liliana's nice here though, because it can kill a Jhin, but the problem is the Jhin comes down, then they're gonna have that 1 mana open for negate, and then they're gonna stop me from killing it with the Liliana. Okay, we actually hit. That's kind of strange. That means our opponent doesn't have a counter spell. And they play the Jhin with no protection. Oh, brother. This is going to be an open and shut victory for us. Oh, they just did not have the right cards for this matchup. Which is crazy because we had a really, really slow start here. So I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that we able to hit this hard this quick. All right, let's see if the opponent drops here. We'll drop the land for sure. Make disappear goes out. Okay. Now, I would imagine they just top deck that, right? Because they would have countered my spell earlier. So this feels pretty safe to resolve, which is kind of crazy to think about. If they have another counterspell, I'm going to be really shocked. Search for Discovery makes sense, but I don't think they're going to have a counterspell. Because they would have definitely played... What? Okay, they would have played a counterspell on this, I would have imagined, instead of dropping 2 spells earlier. But I guess not. Bummer.
Don't overthink things.
Another counterspell. Okay, they've had a whole hand of counterspells. What in the world? I'm going to try this again. I mean, what are the odds of another one? Yeah, pretty slim. Okay. And we hit a Teferi. Let's go. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. We get to steal that too down the road. Love that. Essence Capture, Devious Cover Up. Devious Cover Up doesn't hit because they don't have a 4th land drop. I think it's time for the old Quandary again. And I think that'll do it. I think we lock them out, ladies and gentlemen. Next turn, well, actually, do we only get a creature or do we get a planeswalker? I actually never had that happen before. Put target creature card from a graveyard. Yeah, we don't get actually the Teferi. We don't get to steal it. That's a bummer. All right. That's an easy... Actually, I'll take it. Sure. Why not? That's an easy cleanup here for us with the Veil. Opponent's still hurting for what they need. Let's make them discard 2, draw, or discard 1. Oops. Blue. All right. Opponent discards 2. We draw 1. Both their cards gone. Now, this is a complete lockout again. We keep getting our opponents in these positions, which is really awesome, where we completely get their hand annihilated to where they have no cards. And then we have to deal with a painful quandary on the field, which means every card you top deck, you have to pay that 5 if you're going to play it. Otherwise, you have to take an entire turn off just to draw a card, hang on to it, so you can draw another card to play it, to discard the other one. It's a horrible position to be in, and it's almost a complete lockdown of your game. So this looks like it should be over. Not to mention there's Liliana out there. If you do end up keeping that card, Liliana just pluses and then you're done. And then you're done. GG's. Let's go, man. What a game, man. Wow. We had some really solid and fun games with this bad boy. This has been a pleasure, man. Let's go ahead and let's break this one down. That will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it in full now. But before I do so, I wanted to give you guys a huge shout out if you made it this far into the video. It means a ton to me because I mean the algorithm here on YouTube loves to see watch time, so it does push my videos out to more people when you stick around this long. So I'm glad you enjoyed the content enough to do so, but again, thank you for that. I do appreciate it a lot. With that being said, let's take a look at today's build, man. We'll scoot some stuff over so you can see a little bit better. Let's actually put you here. Better? Perfect. All right, so the Blade Coil Serpent, the card we kind of built this deck around, a card I've been wanting to try out, has some discarding effects tied to it. So I figured to myself, why not play this with the Painful Quandary, and then let's just make a nice, juicy discard deck. I kind of was actually looking to build a mono black discard deck, but then I realized, I'm like, you know what? That Blade Coil Serpent's really, really cool. Let's tie that in, and here we go. We got ourselves the GRIXIS build. I wanted to take advantage of all the effects on this card, not just the, not just the black, which still could have been really good. I still think being able to, pay a certain amount of mana of any of these colors could, change up my game plan on the spot, which could help out a ton. So got full advantage of the Blade Coil Serpent, a very cool card that not only discards your opponent's hand, draws cards, but also gives trample, which turned out to be very important to close out games in a tough spot. But Painful Quandary, obviously, what can be said about this card? So busted. If we can get them with no cards in hand, they're going to be paying that 5 life every turn without having any other options. They're really locked out of the game. And we did that a couple of times where we completely shut down the opponent's game and they were able to not do anything going forward. A card I really want to talk about here is Hostile Takeover. I don't think I've ever seen anyone run this card. This is the second time I'm running this card, and I swear by this thing. This thing is really cool. It sweeps up the board for 3 damage across the board. And I know what you're thinking, well, what about like Shieldred? Well, that's why this card has a little cool built-in effect here where you can give one creature toughness and power of 1/1 and one creature toughness and power of 4/4, and then sweeps the board for 3. So it essentially could be a one-sided sweeper if you've got your deck built right, which in our case we do because all of our creatures have 4 toughness or more, except for 1, and that's because we're going to be giving the Appraiser the 4/4. Everything else is going to be swept up with the 3, and then we're going to be taking things out like Shieldred with the ability to give it a 1/1 power and toughness. So this works out really well in a lot of spots. Very, very good sweeper in any sort of Grixis build. And then we've got the Silent Spider. I needed a way to utilize the opponent's graveyard once we started, filling it up with things. Plus, if they start dropping things that, can come back from the graveyard because they have some graveyard effects that they want to be playing with. So they may not, be so upset about things going there. We want to make sure we exile the right tools and steal the ones that they're going to be utilizing. So got the things like the Silent Spider, Corpse Appraiser to exile those tools so they can't use them any further. And then, of course, Cruelty of Gix, another way we can take advantage of their graveyard by reanimating their own creatures against them, or even, hitting their hand for more hand hate. So very good card here. Junji was great because of the fact that we can make them discard 2 cards when it dies. And it's another great creature we can reanimate as well. So Junji, very, very fun here. Also could just steal one of their creatures if we need to. My favorite card in this deck, believe it or not, the Long Reach of Night. A card that does require your opponent to be playing creatures, but when they do, man, when they are a mid-range deck or playing 1 creature a turn, this thing hits different. It is so good. It is not a fun place to be to sacrifice your one and only creature or discarding a card from your hand when you know more discard effects are coming. This thing is nuts, and it gives you that passive ability of just getting it, done to them 2 times. You don't have to worry about anything on that second saga. You just let that thing pass through, and you get to do it all over again. Liliana, obviously, obvious choice here from removal, but also its passive discarding effects. And then we have the Sabotage. Sabotage is a newer card where we get to play this thing for kicker. It's a kicker card, discarding your opponent's hand, for 2 cards, which is an effect that I really wanted to get. There's a lot of effects that do that, but this one offers a red kicker to deal 3 damage to their face, which could make a big difference towards the end of the game. But very cool card today for today's build. Concealing Curtains. This, of course, again, was a no-brainer. A big body that can block early, getting us set up for maybe our sweeper down the road, but also hitting the opponent's hand for very good selection. And then Go for the Throat. Removal of choice here. A little bit early again. Needed some early removal till we get to that sweeper in case things get a little out of hand, which does lead into Liliana. So there is a lot of removal here. Kind of go back to back to back here, which is nice to hopefully, again, set up for that sweeper if we need to, if it gets out of hand. And then lastly, the Stone Brain. This card, man, again, a little above my pay grade. I know I keep saying it, but I'm not the most skilled player in the world. And so calling a card here was very scary for me, which is why I only splashed in 2. But I figured, again, that if we were to be discarding a lot of cards from our opponent's hand over and over again, we should get enough information to at least make somewhat of a decent decision on this. Even if we don't make the best decision on the card we call out, we can play it safe and we can call something out that's already in the graveyard that we know is in their deck that we don't want multiple copies of. So I thought Stone Brain was a really good choice. You're not going to see this card played in a lot of decks, I'm sure, but in this particular deck, not a bad place for it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was a fun one. I had an absolute blast playing this thing. But that will conclude today's video. We're gonna break. We're gonna break here, but before I get out of here, as always, a huge shout out to the Mardu Mob. If you guys don't know, the Mardu Mob is the membership program here on the channel. These people help support the channel through their monthly memberships. Got to give them the love and support back by letting them know how much I appreciate them. Putting them up here on the screen to let them know that everything that they do for me is being seen, and I do appreciate it all, and it helps out more than they could ever know. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all for everything, and I appreciate you for watching the video. Even if you're not a member, thanks for watching all the way through. That's a pretty amazing feat as well, so thanks for that support. But yeah, guys, that'll conclude today's video. We'll be back again tomorrow for another one, another absolute banger. An Orzhov Tokens deck. Everything's been recorded this week, and all 5 videos are absolute bangers. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this week. Had a lot of fun, that's for sure. But yeah, an Orzhov Tokens deck tomorrow. A lot of shenanigans in this one. And then a stream. We'll be streaming tomorrow as well, so be on the lookout for that. But that'll conclude today's video, guys. We'll see you guys back here again tomorrow for another one. Until next time, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks. the meta. This ain't cheap.